Just noticed that my day count is a little inaccurate. That's closer to like 69 now. Anyway, just got back from Camlin. Realized it'd been a while since I'd done one of these. I have a ton of videos that I need to put up, little shorts from work and stuff. So there we go. The death ray gun. At 1 hour before midnight. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, we read this. Okay, sorry. I went back and watched one, the falling asleep one, so I was expecting the at the top of the stairways thing. Anyway, okay. At 1 hour before midnight, Shan and I waited inside an old Ford Explorer parked behind the Del Vista Arms. Robbie Breeze, dressed in a pair of my clean white socks, best Adidas skate shoes, and Titus Andronicus t-shirt, dashed into his apartment to get us more cigarettes and wave, in passing, at his mother. Events that night were going to set in motion a disaster that would probably wipe out human life on the planet. That night, I was going to say something to Shan I had never said to anyone. I was going to do something I had never done, and see things I could not understand and never believe existed. This is history, and it is also the truth. I sat in the front seat. Robbie refused to chauffeur us around like he was some kind of limo driver, he said, so either Shan or I always had to sit up front with him. This rule increased the degree of difficulty in actually fulfilling my fantasy regarding Shan Collins in Robbie's backseat. But now, Robbie was gone. "What are you doing?" Shan said as I shimmied my way between the front seats over the center console where there was an assortment of cassette tapes that had belonged to Robbie's dad. I thought what I was doing was obvious enough, so I said, "I'm looking for my death ray gun." "Well, if your death ray gun isn't like a pair of Robbie's underwear or socks, it isn't back here." Doesn't look like. Okay. Robbie needed to stop accumulating so much laundry this way, but it did keep the floor of his room tidy. My foot got stuck between the passenger seat and the console. My shoe came off. I left it there. "I'm coming back there with you till Robbie comes out." "Robbie came out in 7th grade, Shan said. A lot of things happened in 7th grade. "There," I said. "I've never been back here alone with you, Shan. It's rather sexy." I thought using the word rather would make me seem mature, and like I was not from Ely. "I've never heard you say anything like that before, Austin," she said. "Rather?" "No, sexy," Shan explained. And she was right about that. I'd never spoken about sex with Shan. I was too afraid to. "Well, it is sexy," I said. I kicked off my other shoe and scooted myself against her. I put my arms around Shan. I leaned into her and brought my feet up onto the bench seat. I put my lips on her neck and licked her. She gasped. "Shan, I want to tell you I'm in love with you." "I love you, Shan." I had never said that before either. "Oh, Austin, I love you." It was the first time Shan said it too. Then the dome light in the Explorer blinked on. Robbie opened the driver's door. "You are not having sex in my car. on top of my clothes, Robbie said. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but the basketball shorts I'd been wearing that day were halfway down my knees. No, Robbie, no. Shan coughed nervously and straightened up, while I pulled my shorts back over my hips. One of you, Robbie said sternly, up front now. Let's go get our shit. I squeezed my way back into the front seat. Robbie gave me an intense, scolding stare. He shook his head and laughed at me. Robbie wasn't angry. Robbie was as shocked as I was. He and I both knew what probably would have happened if he had waited about 1 more minute before coming back to the car. I extracted my shoe from the center console. Somehow my socks had come off too. I tried to find them. Clothing has a way of abandoning ship sometimes. Then Robbie dropped a pack of cigarettes in my lap and pushed the dashboard lighter. He started the car. Light one for me, Porcupine, he said. Oh, where's my timer? 6:09. Still got time. Robbie could have been a preacher. We cased the Ealing Mall. We sat across the street from Stan's Pizza, where we ate and watched through the window. Stan's closed at midnight. Stan was visibly angry that we came in and ordered. There was nobody in the place, and Stan wanted to go home. I ordered a large Stan Preem in an attempt to cheer Stan up. We'll have a large Stan Preem, please, for here, I said. In the same way that Johnny McKeon was proud for coming up with the names Tipsy Cricket Liquor and From Attic to Cellar Consignment Store entirely on his own, and just as Dr. Grady McKeon was considered a genius for inventing the brand Pulsomatic, Stan must have been very pleased with himself for creating the concept of the Stan Preem. People from Ealing were very creative. We didn't know for certain that Stan's real name was Stan. We never asked him. Stan was Mexican, so probably not. We sat, ate, and watched. Stan watched us. Everything was dark at the Ealing Mall across the street except for the sign over the Ealing Coin Wash Laundrette. The laundrette never closed. There was no need to. Between the hours of 2 o'clock and 6 a.m., it was more of a public bathroom, a hash den, or a place to have sex. Between the hours of 2 and 6 a.m., it was more of a public bathroom, a hash den, or a place to have sex than a laundrette, though. Thinking about having sex on the floor of the Ealing Coin Wash Laundrette suddenly made me horny. Nobody was out there. This was Ealing at nighttime. Nobody ever had any reason to be out, unless they were standing on a curb watching their house burn down. I wondered if Ollie Jungfrau had gone home. Ollie worked at Johnny McKeon's liquor store. Tipsy Cricket closed at midnight too, but it was already completely dark by the time Stan scooted the tin pizza disc containing his eponymous creation down on our table by the window. That was the first time in history anyone from Ealing, Iowa, used the word eponymous. You could get beaten up in Ealing for using words like that. Just like Robbie and I had gotten beaten up for sitting there smoking cigarettes and being queers. But I don't know if I'm really queer. Just some people think so. We ate. Robbie asked Stan for 3 ice waters, please. Stan was not a happy man. We couldn't finish the Stan Preem. It was too big. Stan brought us a box for the 3 slices we had left on his tin disc. Do you think we should make a plan or something? I asked. Robbie said, this is Ealing. There's some kind of prohibition against making plans. If we didn't hate being Lutheran so much, Robbie could easily have been a preacher. Okay, that's almost 10 minutes. So no serious talk, just the book. I love you. Good night.